Cheers, guys. English Rabisco here. This is going to be a serious video, so this may not be for everyone. Today, I just wanted to share a very valuable lesson that I learned after some reflection during the times that this pandemic has given to the world. This is something I want to make for myself in the future and in the present, and for all you if you need to know this. I originally got the idea to do this because of a speech I recently heard. Unfortunately, I am unable to say who and when to protect the identity of the people, but they're the ones who inspired me to do this. So as you know from the title, I want to talk about how important it is to take risks. Of course, this can never be easy, but this is an essential part of life that enables us to succeed. The thing about failure is that it's inevitable. We will always run into failure throughout our lives. Yes, failure can be an incredibly painful experience that we all try our best to avoid. But they happen for a reason. There's a purpose behind our letdowns. There are more to failures than setbacks in life. Our failures are here so we can learn from them and grow as a person. Taking risks can get you to more places than you would ever realize. You can do things you never thought you would do. It's all about that leap of faith to a better life. It's truly amazing what can be accomplished if we just do things. These people have the brightest future from what I can tell. People who accomplish things in life don't let things happen to them. They happen themselves. They go out of their way and do things. That's what taking risks is all about. I'm sure they've run into quite a few hiccups throughout the years, but they've succeeded. And from here, I'd like to tell a personal story of mine. And to be honest, I don't like to get personal with my audience. You shouldn't bear the brunt of my problems, but I feel like this perfectly ties into the lesson I'm talking about. If I need to talk about this again in any way in the future, I'm sure that there will be more to the story that hasn't yet happened. For 2 whole years of my life in high school, I did nothing. When I say that, I mean that. I was that person who waited for good things to happen to me. 2 or 3 years in high school, in school in general, is a lot of time in our careers as students. You can make so many friends, do so much with all the sports and clubs. This is truly a time of great opportunity. I understand that it's cliché that the notion these years are supposed to be the best of our lives is always there. But we're still young, and in our prime in high school, we have a lot of freedom and we don't usually have to pay for bills. And the thing is, I never seized the endless opportunities that were given to me. I was terrified of failure, especially from before those years. I never thought about participating in sports or any extracurricular activities, even when I had the time to do so. I never went out of my way to do great things with my life. I made few friends during those times. Even then, I wasn't truly happy with the ones I did have. This was all my choice. Going into sophomore year, I still continued to hold myself back from achieving the great. When obvious opportunities were presented to me, I rejected them. I was cynical to the friendly gestures that several people would make to me. This would have changed my life for the better if I took that path, but instead I did nothing. Looking back, this is something that I really regret. Life could have been so much better. I could have had so much more friends, good friends in fact, and accomplished things. That's not the way it turned out though. During these times, I took few risks, and some of them definitely paid off. But I was just stagnant and didn't grow at all during this time. Towards the end of that school year, I finally realized that I couldn't live like that anymore. Half of my time in high school was already up and over, and those 2 years truly felt like a total waste of my life. I realized that people were good and were willing to give me a chance, so I needed to do the same for them too. Throughout junior year, I took even more risks in a few months than I did in those 2 years, maybe even 3 years if I look back further. I started to get friendly with people who I never really talked to before. I could have never believed I would do this when I first started high school. No, it's not been perfect. I still have a long way to go. But I can confidently say, those few months of junior year until the coronavirus shutdown were the best times I ever had in high school. Perhaps even my entire life. You might wonder why I told you a personal story of mine. The reason is, this is something that I don't want to happen to you. I don't want you to hold yourself back. This is a good example of what can go wrong if you rest on your laurels. I had the ability to make my life better, and I didn't do it. Looking back, not taking risks, and learning from failures is my true failure. But I've learned from this long mistake. Even if it took me 2, maybe even 3 years to learn, this is definitely one of my most important lessons I have learned in my life. So for things I want you all to take risks, understand that things happen for a purpose, embrace and learn from your failures, take opportunities whenever you have them, participate in activities you can enjoy with a community, do something that you would regret for not doing, and continue to always grow as a person. That is truly the key to success. So happen while you still can.